So this MacBook absolutely blew up the laptop market when it came out a few months ago, but it did have some compromises and get some complaints. One of them, strangely enough, that it was too cheap. Now, I've been using my MacBook Neo every day for the last few months, and here is what the everyday experience is actually like. So first up, something that is really important to me for my tech devices, especially ones that cost a fair bit of money, is the build quality, particularly laptops, because I am constantly, interacting with it every single day. Unlike something like a, monitor, for example, that just sits on my desk and I never really touch it. With a laptop, I'm just constantly moving it around, opening and closing the screen, using the built-in keyboard and trackpad. And at this, $500 to $600 price range, that is usually where a pretty massive compromise is made in the form of, a plastic chassis that squeaks and bends and just feels really cheap. But not the Neo. And interestingly enough, when I compared it to the most expensive MacBook lineup currently available, which is the M5 Pro and Max MacBook Pros, build quality feels identical, which is crazy to me because, this is $500 and this is like 4 times more expensive. But what is often not mentioned is what effect such good build quality means for the future. When I get into year 2 of Neo ownership, or 3 or 4, with the more plasticky, cheap laptops, the plastic on mine would always discolor and go dull where my palms would rest on the chassis when typing. Also, over time, it just gets more squeaky and wobbly, and scratches show up really easily, or things just straight up break, like the ports or the screen hinges or something like that. Now, I've only been using my Neo for a few months, which is still too early to show any kind of long-term wear and tear, but I know it's going to age really well because this is my M1 MacBook Air. Now, it is 6 years old at this point, pretty similar build quality to the Neo, and it still looks and feels almost brand new, even 6 years later. Now, in terms of everyday performance of the Neo, I find most videos on this subject tend to get a little too nerdy and show, graphs or benchmarks or complicated workflows. And let's be honest, this is tech YouTube, right? If you're watching this video, you're probably more knowledgeable about tech than the average person. But it is still important to not forget that the average person is who the Neo is aimed at. The type of person who doesn't even know what RAM is or has never used Photoshop in their life, for example. Like my mum, for example. Imagine asking your mum, who might be in her 50s or 60s or whatever, how she feels about the screen being LCD and not OLED, or only having 8 gigabytes of RAM. She's gonna have no idea what you're talking about. And this is the point I'm trying to make, right? The average person will just walk into an Apple store, say, I need a basic and affordable laptop for XYZ. What can you recommend? And then they're happy with the price of the Neo and they just get that. And the Neo does this so well. It's not flashy. In fact, it's actually a really basic laptop, but I can watch movies with the built-in speakers and have a pretty decent listening experience. The webcam and the mic works well for video calls. Actually, it's an upgrade over some previous MacBooks. The screen isn't some fancy OLED, super high refresh rate thing, but it still looks bright and colorful, and more importantly, has a super sharp resolution. So text and UI elements look incredible. For battery life, I've been getting about 8 to 10 hours of normal use as well. And everyday performance is really good too. In fact, side by side with the more powerful and also much more expensive M5 MacBook Air, I really struggle to tell the difference when doing those everyday tasks, stuff like web browsing, watching YouTube videos, multitasking. Sure, exporting videos or editing photos, etc. is going to be snappier on the more powerful laptop, but that is not something that 95% of people do regularly. But this is where I'll get into some of the commonly mentioned complaints about the Neo. It's pretty obvious that Apple had to make some compromises to get the price of the Neo so low, but I think these compromises have been made in areas where it's not really an issue for the average Neo user. For example, the 256 gigabyte SSD. Now, my preference is for 512 gigabytes, but I have been using 256 gigabyte SSD MacBooks for 6, I think maybe even 8 years at this point, and it is fairly easy to manage. I just keep all of my large files on an inexpensive external drive, and then I just use iCloud or some other cloud service to store all of my other stuff. I typically have around 50 to 70 gigabytes free after this, and I do have to regularly clean up my downloads folder or delete movies and TV shows that I've finished watching just to keep space free on the SSD. Now, if you're looking for something that will take care of all this for you and more, you can check out an app called CleanMyMac. And big thanks to CleanMyMac for supporting my channel and sponsoring this section of the video. Now, CleanMyMac has many features, but the most powerful is something called Smart Care. With just a few clicks, Smart Care initiates a thorough scan of your system and takes care of everything from cleaning up junk files to enhancing performance. It'll show you the results in a neat dashboard and allow you to take action by simply clicking the run button. Now, I personally love the cleanup feature because I have had issues in the past where my Mac's SSD has filled up almost entirely, and it can often be hard to pinpoint where this issue is coming from using macOS's built-in storage manager. Using cleanup, I can not only free up invisible junk like deleted user profiles, outdated caches, and broken login items, but take it a step further with the My Clutter feature to easily find large unnecessary files or duplicate files. On top of that, CleanMyMac comes with a built-in protection feature designed to safeguard your Mac by detecting and addressing a wide range of threats and vulnerabilities like malware, even in USB drives and email attachments. So use the link in the description and download CleanMyMac today and get 10% off using code CREATED10 at the checkout. Okay, getting back into the compromises of the Neo, another one I hear about is the ports. Now, the Neo does have much slower USB 3 and USB 2 ports versus Thunderbolt on the other Apple Silicon MacBooks. And this doesn't really seem to be an issue in my opinion. Like, the average Neo user is not using super fast SSDs or really expensive 5K resolution monitors that require those faster ports. There's also no TouchID, but I've seen a lot of comments from Neo owners on my videos saying that they don't really care about TouchID. So it seems, again, it's just not really a big deal. Another criticism I regularly hear, apart from the 256 gigabyte SSD is too small, is that 8 gigabytes of RAM is not enough, and that because of this, the Neo will be e-waste in 2 to 3 years. And to answer that question, I'll go all the way back to the M1 MacBook Air, where people said the exact same thing. And yet, here we are 6 years later and the M1 Air is working perfectly. In fact, it's working so well that a lot of M1 Air owners see no point in upgrading. And I think the Neo is the exact same. Like, it all boiled down to what I was doing on the Neo, right? So web browsing, watching YouTube videos, emails, Word documents, maybe editing the occasional holiday photo, etc. These tasks are not going to be significantly more demanding in 5 years' time. In fact, to give you an idea of RAM usage on the Neo, here's a pretty typical usage scenario for me. Now, I have about 20 browser tabs open in Chrome, about 10 in Safari for about 30 total active tabs, the Mail app, Notion, Excel, ChatGPT, and Spotify. You might look straight away at the memory used figure and think, oh, well, he's maxing out his RAM already. But macOS is designed to try and use all available RAM at all times for best performance. Now, the best indicator of RAM usage is actually the memory pressure chart in the bottom left corner. Now, this ranges from green, which means good, you're not using that much, yellow, which means the available RAM is being mostly utilized, and red, which means, yeah, you need more RAM. You can see the memory pressure right now is just barely yellow. In fact, if I close a few Chrome browser tabs, I go back to green, my workflow on the Neo doesn't really get more intensive than this, so 8 gigabytes is fine for me, and I don't really see that changing anytime soon. Now, yes, if you're a white collar professional who needs, 15 different apps open and 70 browser tabs while doing a Teams call, for example, this is not the laptop for you. That will bring the Neo to its knees. But, for everyone else, it is perfectly fine. So after months of using the Neo, what are my overall thoughts? Well, first of all, I'm actually really surprised that Apple entered this budget laptop market. Their cheapest laptop for years has always been the MacBook Air at around the $1,000 price point. So to come in with a MacBook half the price is a pretty big move in my opinion. And they didn't really compromise on the overall MacBook experience either, even though it's half the price. You know, I get great battery life, the keyboard and trackpad feel really nice, significantly nicer than the competition at this price range, and just everyday performance is fast and snappy, and that build quality is just chef's kiss. It's literally a single piece of aluminum. You know, show me any other laptop around the same price that will give me an equivalent experience. It doesn't exist, and I would know that because I've really tried to find one. Now, if you are considering buying a Neo, I actually made a video going into more detail on some of the things I mentioned here, including talking about that $100 SSD and TouchID upgrade, and if it's worth it or not. And you can find it here, or I'll also link it down in the description somewhere.